you will get plenty of LDs. The question is, will you get the LDs you want? Welcome back, this is Teaching Turtle with another Etheria restart video. Today we have a recap of the first 14 days on the Auric Warcry server 20. So as you can see, I am level 66 after using pretty much all my max refreshes from crystals as well as all my stabilizers. I have a total of 22 Lattice invested, and we can see that here in my Anna's page. I have the Linglo at 111, Raymary is 155, Born 111, the Plume is 113, Lily is 511, and Lilium is 155. So 22 Lattice invested in those characters. I've earned 29 Lattice so far and only missed one of them, plus maybe a few like fragments here or there. So we can see that my consumables, I still have 7 Lattice remaining there. I've also used 32 purple Lattice. I had 4 Lattice remaining. You can see my purple Lattice investments. I have none in Sylph. I have 4 in Valerian. I have 8 in Kaz, 8 in Viper, 8 in Obel. And then Vice I also have is an R. I maxed out his skills. And then Kachi is my next plan to upgrade. Maybe 113 or 115. Potentially needing the speed. That's going to help me clear Sharon. So that's all my Lattice investment. In the Lattice, for the SSR Lattice, really I only needed 12. 4 for Lily, and then 8 for DPS. You can choose either Lilium or Ray. I built Lilium first just because I had Lilium, and I didn't get Ray until after the banner opened up there. Real quick, I forgot to show what shells I have at this point. We can see I have my 1 Supernova for the Aurora dungeon. I have 1 Codex, which I actually don't really need right now, but it's kind of just to make the Hoyan Hell a bit easier, and also in preparation for Hoyan Inferno. Then I have a few White Fangs leveled up. The free one that you get just for hitting level 50. And then here's another one with the momentum that is slapped onto Ray, who is not obviously using the Onslaught. And was using Keen Eye 6 there. And I have a few gigabytes that are not amazing. I have the 2 Artisans here that I'm using. And then the third one is not the Triple Matrix. But out of these, I'm really literally only using Swift Rush. I'm only using Swift Rush 12. I don't have any Swift Rush Time Weave on good shells here. And I was using the Black Flag up until just like yesterday for the Kethos, and I could have used the same thing for the Ray if I had Ray built up earlier. Yeah, so those are the kind of shells that I have used up to this point. If we look at how many summons I have 35 LD summons remaining, and I have tons and tons of the permanent banner remaining, 269. And I still have the 16,000 crystals, so basically I could guarantee getting pretty much any unit that comes out if I needed to. If I wasn't as lucky on the getting from Plume from Perma or the Ray rather early, then I could still pick it up with the amount of tickets that I had in the crystals. So you can see I have no pity left on that. I have some pity left on the Bornova banner, and then also on the permanent banner I have some pity there. Right, just not too much, but even with that I can make tons and tons of units. You can see the units I actually have in the archive. I have quite a few of the LDs in terms of the DPS. I didn't actually build Messiah or Yeli just because I didn't really want to do another Yeli run. I think the Lilium is more interesting and also a bit better in a Lattice investment in the later on. For the just moving into PvP. However, the Raymary Lattice, if I had Raymary earlier, then Raymary could definitely have worked. The 155 Raymary just does so much damage, and it makes it so easy for some of the dungeons that it's like actually just so clean. Really easy there. Quite a few LDs. Main ones missing Femelia and Lowen. The other ones don't really matter too much, but Femelia and Lowen are going to be important misses that this camp would really want. Some SSRs, missing the Rahu, Freya, that's important. Fuchsia would be nice. Aya would also be kind of nice. I have the Tiamat from the recent day 14 free SSR. I didn't open up my other free SSR just yet though. And then I have Kethos. I have a dupe of Senyu and a dupe Lilium. So with that I pooled, let's see, that's 19 minus 1 is 18 SSRs because of Leon. So, and then I pooled, so it's 20 SSRs from total that I received other than Leon, 2 dupes, And then also one of them being a selector, I used the selector on Lily to make it a bit easier. Especially since I didn't have the other, didn't have the Raymary or the Plume at the time. Okay. So how many 6 stars and 5 stars do I have? I 6-starred Raymary, Born, Plume, Lily, Lilium, Kethos. And then the 5 stars, I have the Linglo, Sylph, Valerian, Kaz, Viper, Obel, and Vice. And also Kachi. And I have enough of the upgrade materials, the Shadow Prince, that I could get 2 more 6 stars if I needed to. Now the plans, if going forward, right, would be trying to clear some more of these Infernos. Right now I'm just going to be farming the Inferno, Terrabaton, and Doki while I can. I could clear the Aurora really easily if I just put the 4 Lattice into Ling. But I really want to do the no Lattice route and see how easy Ling is. Additionally, another way to clear it without putting the Ling Lattice is if you just use your purple Lattice onto Chiaki. Red Chiaki. That can pretty easily clear as well if you have the good Supernova, which I actually do. I do have the amazing Supernova, so if you just max out Chiaki's S3 and you make her fast enough, she can definitely clear Aurora for you instead of putting the Lattice into the Ling. But I just thought that it's kind of more fun to try doing it with the no healer Lattice whatsoever there. Yeah, plans for other dungeons. Kachi is going to be super important to get through Sharon, especially without Femelia. I think without Femelia, Sharon is going to be one of the most common ways of beating this, other than just pure DPS race with the Nymphonial, and then Lilium and Didding, or Lilium and Yeli. So Kachi is going to be very, very common here. If I look up here, select that, we can see Kachi is used quite a bit in some of these other teams. And this is for example, this team is super easy to just make without really any other luck in pools. You can select the Lily, and then you can just build everyone else's just SRs. So you can definitely clear Sharon later, but it's pretty common to not clear Sharon until after you've cleared Nikodana and Hoyon, sometimes even Rengo, just because the Sharon can't be debuffed, so Plume isn't going to be as helpful, and a lot of the other supports aren't going to be helpful there. Hell Sharon can still be debuffed, but the Inferno cannot. Inferno Sharon is immune to all debuffs there. And then the Hoyon dungeon, what the plan is, I can use the exact same team that I'm using right now. So we can see my team here is this Plume, Lily, Lilium, Obel. What happens is I just need a better White Fang in order to do enough damage. I got the boss to like 10% HP, and if I just had a better White Fang, then it could definitely kill. Similarly, with the Aurora, actually, I'm going to post a picture there, but I got the boss to less than 1% HP left, and then I died. Would have been cool to get that clear, but like it's definitely doable with 111 Ling, but it's just not really worth the effort right now before I have a better White Fang. I farmed so much White Fang. I farmed so much Nico and Ana for like 8-10 levels straight of Nico and Ana Inferno. Didn't get it, so kind of sad there, but it doesn't really matter in the long term. Alright, but hopefully this shows you where you can be after 14 days on account, especially with how many pools you can use. Right, so I pooled on the banners, 20 kinetic times, 27 LD times, 40 for Born, and then 532 on the permanent banner. Right, and I literally have 300 pools remaining. Okay, so you can definitely hit the 300 pools from Wishbinder really easily, especially since there's so many pools from this hyper rank up as well. If I max refresh continually until Wishbinder, you can actually hit like level 100 by then. Because you get about 2 to 3 levels a day. And so you can actually hit the level 100 and get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 70 pools just from that for me here. Okay. Some other random notes is that with the Hyper Camp, I did miss 1 Lattice here. Now, it would have been really easy for me to get. The Anasync Echoes, everything until Heinrich is pretty doable. Heinrich is a huge speed increase, where suddenly you need to be like 40-50 speed higher than the previous levels. And so Heinrich's going to be the main bottleneck there. Ember Trick, the Ember Trick up to that point is pretty much you just CC and do whatever. The only difficult one is going to be Sharon, where you need to actually have a strategy because of the different phases. And it's really tough if you don't know what you're doing, because you need strip, you kind of need CC, you also need damage, and you probably need survivability heals. So it's kind of a mixed bag for the Sharon dungeon there. Amber Trek. But for me, I could have easily gotten 200 points if I was trying, because I could just get to Golden Summit Arena. Because you're facing people who are less than level 100 all the way until you, I think you get into Diamond. So you can fight people, low level people up to Plat. So if I just defeated and got to Diamond, then I can get the Gold 1, Gold 2, Gold 3. And then I can get the Plat 1, Plat 2, Plat 3, which is going to be 18 points here, which would bump me up to the 200 level. So I could have got this Lattice if I tried. I was just feeling really lazy. Likewise, I could have gotten a bit more Lattice shots from Ethernet Rally from the first one. And I can get, if I want to try, it's not too hard to get the achievement for the 1000 here. I literally just slap on some more shells because my current one, I have like nothing equipped on some of these units. Like the Vice is doing nothing basically. My Born is on Budo Panda there. I have the stuff now. I didn't have it earlier, so I can definitely get 1000 there. But that's kind of the framework I have for my account so far, and what you can expect from 2 weeks of playing. Right, and we can see that this is joined February 5th. The date is right now February 18th. So 2 weeks of playing, you can get to level 66, 67, and you can pool so many times. You pull so many times here. You do not have to worry at all about getting to a certain. You don't have to worry about not getting a certain character because of you don't have to worry about rerolling. You can get everything pretty easily. Okay. Just making sure you can see this part as well here. I got my total score 184. Could have got to the 200 rather easily if I tried, and we can see in the ranking that I believe the top 133 people or so were able to get the top 200 or 200 points for the Lattice, right? Which is kind of crazy that not even 200 people tried going for the Lattice here. I think it's very doable if you started on the first day of the server. If you didn't start the first day of the server, then it's actually quite difficult. But if you started the first day, you can easily get to the top 200. And in fact, some people did get there in the first 5 days. They probably did buy some extra stuff for the extra stabilizers, but it's definitely doable. And also, of course, congratulations to the top 3. The Chinese name there, it was so funny in the chat. He posted that his name translates to "I can't beat you, but I run really fast." And then Ran and me. So congratulations to those 3. It was a super close fight at the end. And me was tearing it up, going through the Ember Trek super fast early, and it was super fun to see everyone try to just do their best in the first 10 days of the server there. Okay, with that, I'm gonna just finish up my shell story, and then we can do some pools. So here in the shell story, some advanced tips is this spot in the corner here. This spot is always gonna be dice. Normally, when you pass go, the spots refresh, except some things. The different special slots, the cat for the shop, is that Golden Lion? I forgot what it is. Yeah, Golden Lion. That stays the same. The Teacher Owl's there. The Halloween stays in the same spot. And then Golden Lion's Treasure here also stays in the same spot. Pretty much everything else swaps out though. But the important thing is that you care about this spot right here because you can use the dice. So if you're standing on the spot right before the stairs, the stair exit, you can use the Oracle dice and roll a 6 going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 going to this spot. And everything else is going to refresh on the board, but you know this dice spot is going to stay. So that's a really important trick that you can use in order to make sure that you're using your dice efficiently. Now, normally what I would do is I would use my dice to get to the next dice spot, because basically you're saving a roll instead of RNGing trying to get to a far location. Right? You can use the dice and get free distance. I actually prefer going multiple laps around instead of fishing for the orb here, because going extra laps, each lap you pass go, is going to be 1 Dragon Ball, the Revelation Orb. Whoops. And so what happens is you really want to get extra laps. And so because of that, one of the worst spots to go to is actually here if you get unlucky. If you go here, you teleport to a random spot in the first half of this lane, the middle lane. Otherwise, you have to either hit the arrow or hit the Teacher Owl and choose -4 to go onto the middle lane. The middle lane does have better rewards, and it's really worth it if there's an LD pool here, which is worth 300 gems. But the thing is, if you're getting it here, you already passed so far that you're going backwards in the lap, and so if you don't hit this stairs, even if you got the Revelation Orb from here, you're wasting time. You have to waste rolls trying to get back past go, and so it's actually not a good deal going to the teleport. Likewise, the cat is actually absolutely terrible because the best thing you can do is you can get a discounted stabilizer for 60 gems, or you can get a discounted pool for 75 gems, a regular pool. But you're paying gems by going to the spot. You could just get gems by going to the gem spot. So a lot of the times in the cat spot, I buy nothing and I just end, and it's just a complete waste. So that's one of the worst spots in the entire map. Now, one of the best spots is going to be this cannon, the Artisan cannon. He makes you go 6 spaces forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you collect everything along the way that's a space on the floor or an orb, but not the special characters. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to roll here. I was hoping to get the either the pool or the dice, but now I'm just gonna go use my dice and hit the cannon. I really don't want to miss the cannon because the cannon is so useful here. I'm using one dice to go to the cannon, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But what happens is that I get bonus distance from the cannon, an extra 6 distance, and I collect the extra dice back because I passed this spot over here. So because I passed this spot, I'm getting the dice back that I used. Now my goal is to then go as far as I can, pass go, and then use the extra dice spots in order to do another lap or get to another Revelation Orb at the very last one. It's kind of a gamble if you low roll here. Some low rolling quite a bit, but at least I can definitely get to the next lap. There, actually rolling a 6 didn't really matter because if I rolled a 1, I could still use my dice in order to get to the spot. Usually what happens is if it's a 4, 5, or 6 distance away, for the dice, I will usually just use my Oracle dice to kind of just get bonus distance. Unless there's 2 dice within the next 6 squares, in which case there's a 1/3 chance I can spend my normal die and get an Oracle. The Oracle dice are just so good that it's super worth trying to gamble for Oracle dice if there's multiple in your next line. Alright, doesn't look like I'm getting too lucky with this here. And additionally, there's no Oracle dice over here. So this is I got scammed, kind of. I can't even do the cool stuff. Oh, 1. Okay. At this point, actually, I think the best scenario is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, no. Okay. If I hit the Teacher Owl, I could go +3 over to here to the dice and then gamble for some extra stuff. Or not even gamble, but I can choose to go for Halloween or the extra spot here and gamble. But I can't even guarantee anything. So this is a very unlucky last lap, but it's fine. Getting the 3 is actually worthless here. I'm actually just going to go gamble for the 1 and get 2 rolls. Kind of unfortunate ending here. But still, 14 dice is pretty nice. Okay, so here, I can try it. I can go +3 for the dice. I can go +4 for the Halloween, or I can go -4 for the branching path. Normally, I would go -4, but since it's the very last lap, the very last day, I'm going to get no more rolls. I'm just going to go for the +3. I'm going to grab this Oracle die and YOLO roll. Alright, at this point, the best one's probably going to be the golden line here. 1, 2, 3. I could gamble this, but it's just going to put me in a random spot. At most, it would give me the 50 gems. I don't think you can go that far to get you to the magnet. The magnet is actually pretty nice. The magnet gives you 2 bubbles randomly. It could give you the Revelation Orb bubble as well. And the bubbles don't disappear. So you can grab the magnet, you can luck into an orb plus the summon or whatever, right? And you can still roll to get onto the orb itself. So the most orbs you can get from like a guaranteed standpoint is 3 if you see a magnet, or not guaranteed because magnet isn't guaranteed, but you can get 3 potentially if you go magnet, then the orb plus pass and go. As an aside, the Halloween and the golden lion can also give you the orbs. Halloween's kind of annoying. You have to remember where it is. If you're not paying attention while doing it, you can miss it. But golden lion is just complete RNG. But we're gonna try that RNG right now, which is 3 spots away. 1, 2, 3, and let's click it through. And we got it. Nice. Okay. Wasn't expecting that. So there we go. I'm ending off with 15 orbs, and we can see when you make the orb wishes, you do want to make sure you wish on the last day because you get bonus. Every bonus orb is going to be more things. The thing you want to get is always going to be the lattice. I did the math before. I forgot the math at this point. But no matter how much you value crystals or the pools, the lattice is still better if you think a lattice is worth at least the 300 gems. And if you think lattice is worth more than 300 gems, or sorry, not 300, 3,000 gems, like the shop that has them. If you think it's worth more than 3,000 gems, which most people will, then it's just clearly better to get the lattice then. So there we go, at 16 lattice for the 15 orbs. Every extra lattice after 7 gives, every extra orb after 7 gives you 2 more lattice shards. All right, so that's a quick shell story guide. And with that, since I realized that I have so many pools, I don't need to worry about Wishbinder anymore. So I'm just going to pool. Brief aside here, for these special pools, so you can get a guaranteed SR or higher, you want to save until you get 10 because there's an achievement for getting 3 SSRs in one go. That gives you a title and more importantly gives you 1 lattice. So this is your best bet of getting 3 SSRs is when you have each individual pool has a 10% chance of getting an SSR from the base plus kinetics and apex. Right, so you want to save these if you're min-maxing. As soon as you get the achievement though, then you can just rip them. You don't have to save them anymore. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and do some permanent banner pools for fun. So since I said I was going to get at least like 70 from the rank up, I can just pool maybe like 50 times, and there we go. And let's see what we get. Is that Doki Doki? Nice. So that's another LD. Very nice anti-CC unit. With the buffs, she's pretty much a staple. She's always going to be stable because of just how fast she is and how fast she can bring your team up and deny against that CC. Alright, so no double there. Let's see, I can do probably like 30 more pools and still be very, very safe. Honestly, like 100 more and it's still like kind of safe. Sonya dupes. Once the account actually was really weird just not building Sonya because I got the Sylph and no Sonya early. With the Freya banner before for new accounts, then Sonya was a rate up. But now, because of no more Freya banner, I didn't get any Sonyas early, so it's just kind of weird, like not building Sonya for once. But the Sylph was plenty, and then once you get Ling Low, then it's no big deal. Alright, let's do one more. See if we can get another early. Nope. Alright. But there we go. Got some nice pools. Got the Doki Doki. So that's quite a few LDs on this account. And as an aside, you will get plenty of LDs. The question is, will you get the LDs you want? Right. So I don't have female yet. Don't have low end. Got the Raymarie because there's a banner for her. Selected the Lily. Rolled for the plumes. But you don't need to reroll because you're going to get so many of these units anyways. Right. Yeah. So hopefully that gives you a good gauge on your progress and what is practically achievable, right? If you have some experience or some luck in what dungeons you can clear in the first 2 weeks. Comment down below what you got in your first 2 weeks, whether you got really lucky pools or lucky shells or mods. And don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, bye-bye.